You know, when you become a parent, all of a sudden, all sorts of things that you may not have been as concerned about in the past make a lot more sense, and they impact you a lot more. And ever since I've been a parent, I really can't stand to see children that are in hardship or are in bad positions. And, you know, I was just passing a bus stop back there, one of the benches, and, you know, I saw something that was heartbreaking, but at the same time kind of inspiring. I'm driving by and I see an older woman with a child that looks to be a little girl, probably around 3 or 4 years old, and they're sitting on the bench that's not covered while it's raining, and they're getting soaked. And I'm trying to find a place so I can turn around after I kind of noticed that there was a child, and you know, I saw a truck that had pulled over, and a guy ran out with a bunch of blankets, and he wrapped them up in a blanket before the bus came. So by the time I got back there, I actually have a couple little raincoats with me that I was going to give them, but they were getting on the bus by the time I got back there. Anyways, you know, you hate to see children, anybody really, in bad positions, but when it's children, it definitely strikes a chord a little bit more, especially if you have little kids. But it's definitely refreshing to see when people step up and they give their time and they try to do something to help, especially in a scenario like that. So taking a look at the numbers, first of all, this truck has a huge payload capacity, 5,720 pounds. That is pretty extraordinary. This is roughly 900 pounds greater than what my F450 has. But again, my F450 is a much heavier truck, so that comes off of your payload capacity actually. So in the case of this truck, 5,720 pounds. Taking a look at the interior that's getting rained on a little bit. Power windows, power door locks, automatic headlights, your ability to dim everything, 8.4-inch Uconnect, very nice center console area. It has this really cool feature that lets you slide this forward and back to either turn this into a huge spot to store something big and then cover it up, or have your cup holders in your center console area right here. I love the fact that they still put change holders here. If you ever go through an area that there are tolls, that's definitely something important. I really like how they utilize this space here too, where they've put all sorts of measurements and conversion charts on here, just in case you need that extra help whenever you're trying to do some math. Nice large center console area. Very comfortable, very thick seats. A lot of nice bolstering, and they're very nice to sit in, even for a long period of time. When we were doing the test drive, I sat in one of these for almost 4 hours, and it was very comfortable. You have your sunglass holder as well as your lighting controls up here. No sunroof, which I actually prefer, but you still get your home link, which is nice. Now going into the back of this truck, power windows, lots of storage. That's one thing Ram's done very well, put a lot of door storage in their trucks. You have a tremendous amount of back seat room. So this is my normal seating position. You're gonna have roughly 14 inches of leg room right here from the front of your back seat to the back of your front seat. These seats flip up. This gives you that flat storage area that can flip down. And underneath the mats here, you're going to have storage as well. So if there's one thing Ram does very well, is they load their truck up with different areas that you can store things. And these actually come out. So if you need to wash them out, if you've put drinks in here or ice, you can take these and rinse them out. These are designed if you need a flat area back here. So when you put the seats up, you can turn this whole area into a flat area if you have like dog kennels, or some people actually put a little bed back here in case they're gonna be sleeping in their truck if you're a hotshot driver. Which this is a good package for hotshot drivers. It's affordable. It's a package that you can definitely make profit because you're not spending so much on your tow vehicle. From inside of the back seat, there's probably a good 6 inches of space between my knees and the back of the front seat. The difference between, let's say, the new Chevy or GMC truck and the Ford truck versus this is you're going to have about 8 inches of spacing. So you definitely have a slightly larger and longer cab, but in some cases you don't need that unless you're pretty tall. You can see the center console area back here, rear air conditioning vents for your back passengers, as well as a nice little cubby area here. And one thing I don't see on this specific package is any type of USB or phone connections back here to charge your phones. But that is available on a higher trim package. But what is nice is that they still give you some really nice trim work here. It's just a nice place to be. These trucks are very well equipped and they're comfortable. I could absolutely see a family owning a truck like this and having a perfectly acceptable time in it, simply because it doesn't feel like a low trim package. It really feels as if you're getting a well-equipped truck. You have all your USB and USB-C connections up front as well to charge your phones. You might just need some longer cables to reach back here. Now, this truck does not come with the fifth wheel prep package. If you want to put a fifth wheel or gooseneck hitch in the back of this truck, it would probably cost you an extra $600 to $800 for the complete kit, and then it might cost you about $400 to install. So you're going to be looking at around $1,000 to put the actual kit in the back, which isn't really too bad, because generally when you opt for it as an option in the truck, you're going to be paying about $500 for the option. So to add it in an aftermarket environment, it's roughly an additional $500. Here's a closer look at the engine. So even in the non-high output edition of this engine, you're going to have 850 pound-feet of torque. This truck is going to have a 21,500 pound maximum towing capacity, and that's going to be fifth wheel or gooseneck. If you opt for the high output version, then that number goes all the way up to 35,100 pounds, depending on the actual truck configuration that you go with. And that's going to be equipped with an Aisin transmission. This engine produces 370 horsepower, and you can just tell how much quieter it is than it's ever been. Now, taking a look at the exterior of this truck, some things to notice that kind of differentiate it from a higher trim package. You're not going to have any type of enhanced headlight system. So on this truck, even though you do have LED fog lights, it's going to have standard halogen headlights. On the higher trim, you're going to have LED headlights. Wheels and tires are pretty much going to be universal when you go with an aluminum wheel. You're going to see that it has nice step sides already attached on this specific one. Overall, that black body where everything is the same color looks really good on this truck. It has a very, very nice appeal to it. This truck does have a push-button tailgate release, and it has a camera on the back, but it is not a slow-opening tailgate. And from the inside, you can tell that it does not have the fifth wheel gooseneck prep package, but it's something that you can easily add. And it does not have a spray-in bed liner or any type of other bed liner. It gives you kind of the flexibility. You can go with something like a Line-X, you can go with a bed rug, you can go with a drop-in liner. Really depends what your budget is. But not having it in when you buy this truck saves you about $600. This truck has a 2.5-inch receiver, has a maximum conventional tow capability of 21,500 pounds as well. So its conventional towing matches its fifth wheel gooseneck towing. You can see that the frame is fully E-coated, fully boxed with through-welded cross members, as well as has 4 leaf springs with 2 thin overload leaves. Very similar suspension setup to what General Motors puts on their dually trucks. Even though I love their mirrors in the flipped up position, I don't really like the fact that you have to have them in that position to really use them in the way a lot of people expect to use them. What I would love to see is a mirror that looks like this but can slide in and out versus flip up and down. So the sticker price on this truck is $62,500. It is, in my opinion, a pretty good value for what you get. As it gets later in the year, you'll probably see even greater discounts, but expecting $7,000, $8,000 off of this truck isn't that hard to imagine. So there you have it, guys. 2019 Ram 3500. It is a really well-equipped truck. This is a Bighorn package, a little over $62,000. Again, you'll probably get it a lot less for that if you negotiate, but really nice truck. One of the best values I think that's out there, especially for the new body style, because they're the only ones that have released a new body style for sale. Anyways, guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we will talk to you again very, very soon.